Hey everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Feliz Navidad, Happy Kwanzaa, all those happy things. And I'm wishing you a joyous holiday season. Getting ready to go to Africa, and I can tell you that I am so extremely excited, as well as feeling a bit anxious. But I also know that our young people are excited and they are a bit anxious to prepare on a transatlantic journey and to, for the first time, for some of them, to become global citizens. And I could tell you that they're ready to impact the world. And they're also ready to learn a lot. And they're open and they're present and they're in the moment. I could tell you these young people are going to be fantastic leaders in the future. Um, Many of them have or are currently in school. We have young people who are attending Glendora College, Community College, Los Angeles Trade Tech College, Santa Monica College, but I think they've transferred, but I'm not too sure. We have a graduate of California State Dominguez Hills, Go Toros. We have young people who are currently in training programs. We have a young person who's not in school, but is in training. Let's put it in training. Just definitely in training, learning about herself and where she wants to go. And so I am just excited. Um, all this work isn't for naught. I could just tell you that. We've just done 4 meet and greets. We've done a variety of leadership development activities, one of them being reading Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime, which I think makes the really good connection in comparison between South Los Angeles and South Africa, post-apartheid, post-civil rights, and what that means in this whole new era of racial equity, and what that really looks like in terms of its authenticity and genuineness, right? Because it's a word. It's a word that's being thrown out, but what does that word actually mean? And in whose lens, right? Depending on who's using the word, does that mean? And is it really tied to an action? Is it tied to a movement of transformation and change? And so our leaders are going to learn a lot about that. And I think they're going to learn about themselves and going to develop a certain self-awareness of knowing that they have the resiliency, the tenacity, the grit to be major influencers in this world. And I was just thinking back on some things that Trevor Noah had mentioned in his book about, the challenges that a lot of young people face. And even one of those challenges that I thought about even here in the States is Black lives, right? Black lives matter. And it doesn't matter if you are a rich Black life. It doesn't matter if you're a poor Black life. It doesn't matter if you're a struggling Black life. The challenge of being Black is still ever present as far as your life and how people view you and see you, and how you're constantly having to operate in your duality and being your best self and carrying a certain level of weight and a need for I don't even want to say a need for understanding, because I think we understand ourselves well, but being agents of change in a system that always presents challenges and opportunities to kind of, I don't even want to say spark, but always presents those challenges and opportunities for us to thrive in, because we always find ways and means to thrive. But it's all those things and what that means in a struggle where the unemployment rate for youth still remains relatively high. And how do you young people and even certain communities still struggle with access to resources and quality that either can put them in a cycle of poverty or a cycle of incarceration, or will always present barriers in which we will have to find ways and means to disrupt those barriers in order to accomplish the goals that we set out for ourselves, that we set out for our neighborhoods, or that we even set out for our future. So all those things are going on in my head. And I just recently, I shouldn't even say recently, within the last 45 minutes or so, I just listened again to Robert F. Kennedy's Ripple of Hope. And I could just tell you, just the speech is just so impactful. It was not so much inspiring than it was another epiphany about how important everyone is in being a ripple of hope. From one drop starts a momentum of a ripple, and each one of those ripples have the chance to influence or be a change. It has the ripple effect, right, of impact. And we're all ripples. It's just we need to know what we're rippling for and what we're rippling to and what we want to achieve by being a ripple of hope. So I hope that you all could take some time to listen to Robert F. Kennedy's speech. When I say it's one of his best ever. It's just one of his best, and it was so right on time for being an activity for our trip. Anyhow, so I'm going to close because I can continue to talk. You could tell from my excitement, even probably from the jiggle of this phone as well, that just ready for a new experience. Again, thankful to Pastor Reverend Kelvin Sauls for being the curator of this trip. I hope that all of you will take an opportunity to follow Sanctuary of Hope on all of our social medias at hashtag SOHLA2, the number 2, Africa 2019, to stay updated. And you can also, I think we created a web link. So if you go to www.thesoh.org, you should be able to see in the menu section South Africa or S Africa. So even if you're not on social media or you want to tell others about following Sanctuary of Hope and the trip, you can do so by just directing them to the website and the link, and we'll post updates there, so you won't have to scroll through any of your social media pages as well to catch up. But I want to thank all of you who have contributed, and I'm happy to share this journey with you. Okay, take care and have a blessed one. Thank you. Yibo!